Hello, I'm Christian Renner, and I'll be reading a little bit of The Mockingjay today. It is by Suzanne Collins, and I picked this book because it is my favorite one in the series. This is also the last one. I stare down at my shoes, watching as a fine layer of ash settles on the worn leather. This is where the bed I shared with my sister Prim stood. Over there was the kitchen table. The bricks of the chimney, which collapsed in a gray charred heap, provide a point of reference for the rest of the house. How else could I orient myself in this sea of gray? Almost nothing remains of District 12. A month ago, the capital's fire bombs obliterated the old coal miners' houses in the seam, the shops in the town, and even the justice buildings. The only area that escaped incineration was the Victor village. I don't know why exactly. Perhaps so anyone forced to come here on capital business would have somewhere to stay. The Odd Reporter, a committee assessing the condition of the coal mines, a squad of peacekeepers checking for returning refugees, but no one is returning except me, and that's only for a brief visit. The authorities of District 13 were against my coming back. They viewed it as a costly and pointless venture, given that at least a dozen invisible hovercraft are circling overhead for my protection, and there's no intelligence to be gained. I had to see it, though. So much so that I made a condition of my cooperating with any of their plans. Finally, Plutarch Heavensby, the head game maker who had organized the rebels in the capital, threw up his hands. Let her go. Better to waste a day than another month. Maybe a little tour of 12 is just what she needs to convince her, that we're on the same side. The same side. A pain stabs my left temple as I press my hand against it, right on the spot where Joanna Mason hit me with the coil of wire. What is a series of events led me to be standing in the ruins of my city? This is hard because the effects of the concussion she gave me haven't completely subsided, and my thoughts still have a tendency to jumble together. Although the drugs they use to control my pain and mood sometimes make me see things, I guess I'm still not entirely convinced that I was hallucinating the night the floor of my hospital transformed into a carpet of withering snakes. I use a technique one of the doctors suggested. I start with the simplest things I know to be true and work toward the more complicated. The list begins to roll in my head.